Oh, I do now.
All right.
All right. What do I do with that little bar? There it goes. It went away on its own. Okay, we're going to talk about Gladiacoin again. We never get tired of talking about Gladiacoin because it's the way to get Bitcoin. Everybody needs Bitcoin. Everybody's learning they need to get Bitcoin. I don't think they know it yet. And if the computer would cooperate, we'd get started. There we go. Okay, history of Bitcoin, real short and sweet. 2008, it comes out in a paper form. Then people start working with it, and the next thing you know, at 2009, the first transaction occurs, and the rest has been history. And I'm sorry here. The dogs are. Let me stop just for a second. Sorry, they're coming up on the glass. I got to stop it.
That's okay. This is a live presentation. They know you're for real. We are real people in here. All right, we got Carrie from Farmington, Connecticut. Great. And William Norris. All right. That's North Carolina. The house is filling up. And our host just got eaten by the dogs or something. No, cosmic erase. All right. He's got a dog that will climb up on the garage roof just to escape. He actually climbs up on the garage roof. I can't believe that. I've never seen a dog that climbs. And that's my entertainment for the night.
Okay, maybe they'll stop now.
There you are.
Anyway, they better stop. The glass is right next to me. I don't want to break it. Anyway, Satoshi wrote the paper, and all of a sudden they started producing Bitcoin, and the first transaction occurred in 2009. And of course, we're off and running now with what we have here. And it came out, and people were telling me that I should be getting my hands on Bitcoin. I said, no, 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 no. I don't want any of that false stuff. That's not real money. Little did I know. I sure wish, looking back on it, I had done it. But you know what? Now we have a great, great way to get it. And we can get it by working as a team and also using a trading platform that had come about. Of course, none of this stuff was around back then, so I feel very lucky that we have this way to do it now, because we can. Look at the price difference here. In 2010, it was 10 cents a coin, and now it's over 900. And today it's almost it's 1150 or something, and it was knocked down there for a minute, but now it's climbing back up. And there's no way to suppress it. Even Nigeria has come out and said that they can't stop it, and they want to. These are the companies that have invested in Bitcoin. I guess they were paying attention, and I don't know, I think they were trying to figure out how to use it. I know a lot of consortiums are being formed right now between banks and other financial institutions to figure out how to use it and capitalize on it, because it's radically going to change their business plan. Business as usual is gone. People have no idea the changes that are coming, but pretty soon everything is going to be run by blockchain technology. It is a totally different way than anything anybody's used to. And it's also going to make a big difference in the labor market. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs because they just don't need them. Like banks, they don't need tellers, they don't need anybody anymore. Everything can be done right on your telephone, right through the blockchain. So that's an opportunity for a lot of people, and frankly, it's an opportunity for you and kind of a warning to get as much as a Bitcoin as you can. You know, if you get enough Bitcoin at the rate that the inflation rate, I don't mean inflation, I mean the appreciation rate of the coins is going to be phenomenal. When you transfer 1% of the assets of the United States into these coins, you're looking at well over $1 million. So it would behoove you to get as many coins as you can right now. You may not ever have to work again, don't care about a job. You could travel, have fun, do something you like to do instead of work at that job you don't like. How do I know that? Because the financial institutions do studies every year, and most people don't like their jobs and they don't want to do it, but they don't know what to do to fix it. Anyway, you need a Bitcoin wallet to handle your Bitcoin coins. And so blockchain is the largest one. They've got 12 million users. Coinbase is close behind with about 6 million. Local Bitcoins really isn't a wallet. It's just a bunch of people on a website that make a market. They said, I've got some to sell. If you want to pay this price, then I will sell these to you. So you can go there and try to get coins from those people peer to peer, you know. Zappo and Copay are other ones, and BitPay is another a wallet that offers a Visa card. So you can spend your Bitcoin just like you do your dollars right now with a debit card. Now the safe over there is talking about hardware wallets, Trezor, Trezor. There's a number of different ones. You can just go ahead and Google that and you'll find them. That's a way to get your Bitcoins off the internet and have total privacy about what you've got and where you've got it stored. And you can actually, it's kind of a little computer there. You can actually connect it to a computer system and do all your transactions right on the Trezor. But everything is safe and it's in your pocket. And even if you lose it, nobody can crack it. It's got an extremely long key. And there's actually a way to get it back even if you do lose it through the company. I don't know how they do that, but they said they can. Now, there's 100,000 companies already that are doing business with Bitcoin. Many people don't even use the dollar anymore. They don't need the dollar. They're just using the Bitcoin. And there are pictures of the companies that use it right now. Some of them, famous one, I think everybody knows those companies. But you see how the guy is paying for his coffee here? He's just using his phone and just transferring some Bitcoin to their address. It's pretty simple. You know, all they got to do is pop up a QR code. The phone reads the QR code, boom, transfers the Bitcoin right there, right now, instantaneously. Now, Bitcoin trading is what we're going to do in order to help get Bitcoin. That's how we're going to work together, because we're going to develop teams and we're going to take positions. And we're going to give we're going to give the company trading money. And for that, they're going to give us a return. Now, basically, this is buy low and sell high, but it's fairly sophisticated in that we have a very high, an asset that has very high volatility. And I mean, look at the price change today. That's volatility. Somebody got rich today. Multiple people got rich today because they were betting the market was going to fall, because they were insisted that this exchange traded fund approval through the SEC was not going to go through. Had it gone through, it would have gone the other way. Prices would have shot way up, because there were an awful lot of people that would probably bring in a couple $100 million into the funds, and they'd be out there in the market acquiring Bitcoin. And so that would naturally push the price up. But even so, a lot of them maybe took a position on the short side, so when it falls, they probably quadrupled their money. It's pretty cool, huh? But that's all we do. This is the digital economy. We're finally here, all the way, 100%. And the reason this has happened is because of the cryptocurrency exchanges. They make it possible. They're the businesses and the companies that run wallets and handle transactions and do the mining and actually do the processing for the transfer of money from point A to point B in the form of Bitcoin. Now remember, Bitcoin isn't actually money. The governments don't own this. This is something that was totally created outside the realm of government and people, and it was given to the public domain. So there's no one person that can lay claim to owning the Bitcoin or have a claim against it. I think there is one fellow who can show that he has some patents that he's applying for related to the development of Bitcoin, and apparently he has some involvement in it, and I think he even claims to be Natoshi, but that remains to be seen. However, for our purposes, we don't really care. All we care is that we can give them some money, and they can turn around and give us an exceptional rate of return on that money. And it's a worldwide opportunity. Instead of just having to work in a dollar area, dollar market, it doesn't matter, because everybody around the world wants Bitcoin, and everybody around the world, including a lot of governments and universities and countries, are all going after Bitcoin. Well, how's this program work? The basic idea is it's like a bank CD. It's a timed account. You put the money in, 90 days later, you get the money out, and you have double the Bitcoin. Now, the Bitcoin is acquired just like anything else is acquired. If you want to buy gasoline, you use your dollars and you get the gasoline. If you want to buy something to play with Farmville, then you use your dollars and you buy that stuff. I read there was one guy that spent $60 million on artificial currency in a game. It seemed funny to me at the time, but this isn't much different. The only difference here is that government is trying to say that this is to some kind of taxable thing that they have control over, and they really don't. They can't control it. Nigeria even admits it. The state of Austria came out and said clearly that this is not money. It's not regulated. People should be careful, buyer beware. They're trying to do everything they can to scare you. They're also trying to come out and say that a lot of criminals are using this. A lot of bad guys are spending all their time doing this. And that's just not the case. And the Wall Street Journal proved it just the other day, where they came out with an article and says it's just a bunch of lies by these people running these countries with all these bad economies as a way of blaming it to try to keep this stuff out because they're going to lose control. So anyway, we have these tedious activities and other programs, but we don't hear. All you do is put the money in, and 90 days later, they will hand you back your Bitcoins. It's up to you. It's fully automated, and the payments come every single day into your e-wallet. You're in total control. The only money they keep is the money that you gave them to trade with, and they only keep it for that specified period of time. All the earnings come directly to you. They're not kept by the company. Well, because of the international presence, that means that their servers can be in Singapore, the people can be someplace else. It doesn't matter where everybody is. But Singapore is the best place to put the servers over there because it's a really, really large international trading center. Everything happens in real time. You can do it on a tablet, you can do it on a phone and a PC, and it's cool because it's on a phone because 2.5 billion people are unbanked. This is just heads of household. Does not include all the family members and others. And just think about 2.5 billion people chasing 21 million Bitcoins. Think that would have any effect on the price? Not only is the value going into the Bitcoins, which are going to really ramp it up, but you also have the market attraction to it. People want to buy it. Scarcity creates value. There's only 21 million coins. Now, in order for you to acquire coins as fast as possible, they've set it up with a gotcha clause. Sorry, I shouldn't say gotcha clause. It's actually an acceleration clause. You got 90-day period, but it doesn't have to be 90 days because the real promise is they're going to double your Bitcoins. If they can double your Bitcoins in a week, isn't that cool? Wouldn't you want to do that? What if they could just do it in 40 days? Wouldn't that be cool? Why not every day? Well, if you double on every 90 days, you got 4, becomes 8, becomes 16, becomes 32, becomes 64. That's a year, 4 times a year. But if you could do it 365 days a year, wouldn't you do that? Do you think you'd end up with a lot more cash in your hands? A lot more Bitcoin that can be converted to any currency in the world? Doesn't matter where you are? Sure. How do they do that? That's the optional binary network. Unlike a bank or insurance company or any of these other financial institutions, when you refer somebody to them and somebody takes action and actually comes and says, I want to do that, and they acquire some Bitcoin and put it into trade, you get paid. You get a referral fee from between 5 and 15%. Now that 5 and 15% is repeated on a regular basis because the deal is they double Bitcoin. So if you've got a guy that is doubling his Bitcoin and he is doing it every single day, every time he does a new contract and renews to do it the following day, he gets another 15% out of that referral base down there because they're doing the same thing. They're constantly renewing it, and it sends those units up the plan. They get that money over and over. So it takes about 50 Bitcoin in order to cycle every single day at the Spartacus 7 level, which is 4 Bitcoins. Okay, we've talked about what the 90-day period. We're going to talk a little bit more about the ways to generate the Bitcoin. And you can do it passively. There are people that have said, I don't want to do anything. I just want to put the money in and get the 2.2% daily payment. That will double the Bitcoins in 90 days. However, what we found is that people who've said initially that they didn't really think they would want to refer anybody are referring people. Why? Because they're telling people about it. Hey, you know what? I'm getting this. This is a good thing that happened to me. They're telling people about it. That's what happens. That's what people do. They always talk about the good things that happen to them, and they talk about the bad things that happen to them. But see, the thing is that you get the passive 2.2% plus you get the referral fees off the binary team that you can build just by referring people. You get your Bitcoin faster because it doubles faster in the account. How cool is that? So I'd rather do mine 365 days a year, double every single day, getting 8 Bitcoin, than waiting 90 days to do it. So here's how you structure this little thing. Here's the binary network, and you're here at the top. And what we really suggest when you come on, you take the 2 positions immediately below you. And now what you're going to set yourself up to be getting 8 Bitcoin a day from each position. Now, each plan, the plan at Spartacus 7, if you've got 4 Bitcoins in the system, you can get 8 Bitcoins a day. That's 240 Bitcoins per month. Okay? So what you do is set yourself up here, and you refer a personal referral here and a personal referral here. You have to do that to activate the binary. What that means is by activation, you now can receive the payments from the binary because you're helping to build the binary. Now, every time you renew, you've got to do it right away within 24 hours. And I'll get to that in a minute. I just want to let you know. But what happens is you build this team going down this way by referring people, and you build this team going down this way. And one of these is going to be what we call your bank leg, heavy leg, whatever you want to call it. It's a lot of people will be in it because you'll be getting a lot of spillover. There's a lot of spillover in this program simply because there's only 2 spots and people are bringing a lot of people on. They're not just letting, you know, one person at a time come on. They're telling a lot of people. So what happens is that once this position is pumping out your 8 Bitcoin, then what you want to do is come down here and work on this position and refer some more people. Now, it's important that you take the position here immediately below you and here because you've already built that leg. See what I mean? That you've got half of that already done. So if you had 100 units over there, then every time you brought on a single unit over here on this side, it would actually pull a unit from there and you'd end up making more money here. And that same process would even accelerate this thing to continue to make money. Same thing happens on this side. When you've got this one doing 8 a day and you got this one doing 8 a day, then work on this one, get it going 8 a day. You've already built that line on the outside, so all you got to do is pull a little bit off on this side. Every dollar, every point you put on creates additional cash flow to you. So you can get 3 of them working at the same time. Now, we want to talk about the concept of renewing here. What happens is that everybody that comes on and puts some Bitcoin into the pocket or into the thing, they always end up renewing, and they always double their Bitcoin. But why do they end up renewing? Well, one of the reasons is they kind of like the system. They kind of like the way the money is pumping out and they're getting paid every week, even at the lower levels. The ideal spot to be is the 4 Bitcoins. We'll talk about that in a minute. But what happens is if you don't renew, you get pulled out of this line. I mean, you help build this line, but if you're not there, then everything has to continue, and they can't give you any extra time. Somebody says, well, why don't they give us 48 hours instead of 24 hours? Because they pay every day. In other words, you got to be in or out within that line, or you can't do it. Now, once you're out and you decide, oh, geez, I should have done that, I've got to go renew, you can't get put back in. See, it's already been restructured. It's just that simple, nothing complicated about it. Okay, so here's the basic plan, and I've got this one segregated because I want you to see that this plan here, 5% of a Bitcoin, there is no doubling. Nope, can't do it. But what you can do, and the reason this plan is here to start, is that you can build referrals, and you can get a 5% fee off of those referrals when you build them. Remember, you got to do 2 personal referrals anyway. Doesn't matter. They could come in at different levels. It doesn't really matter. The point is, that money that you're doing right there will help build you enough money to get to this plan here, which is the one that starts to double. That's 10% of a Bitcoin. And it doubles every 90 days, just like everything else, unless you're referring. If you're referring, it's going to double much, much faster because you're getting 6% of the amount of money that people are bringing in below you. You can get up to 6 Bitcoin a month doing that. The next plan works the same. It's just a little bigger, but here's a sweet spot. If you're on the low side, you're having trouble raising money, it's okay to start anywhere along that line. But if you can get at least to a half a Bitcoin, it doubles in 90 days, and you get a 9% referral fee. That makes a big difference. That extra 3% really helps. I know it sure made a difference for us. It took us about 19 days or so, starting at 0.05, to get up to the Spartacus 7 level, which is the next set of plans. But this way you can get up to 30 Bitcoin a month, and right now they're running around $1,150 to $1,200. Just do the math on that. You think that would change your life? You think that would make things better for you? How about people around you? Do you think that would be good? Sure, I just showed you that article that says that most people in the country can't even write a check for $500. See, I know everybody needs money. This is the way to get it. I can't understand why anybody wouldn't want to do this. Now, here's the sweeter plans. If you come in with whole Bitcoins, 1, 2, and 4. 4 Bitcoins is the best deal. It doubles in 90 days. All of them double in 90 days, but you get a 15% referral fee off the binary down there below you. That makes an incredible difference. We're really just cooking along, and everybody who gets into the 4 Bitcoin level, it really begins to cook at that point. You get 8 Bitcoin a day 240 Bitcoin a month. Now think about that. You get 3 positions and you work them all up to 4 Bitcoin, and that's 720 a month. Current rate of Bitcoin, that's almost $1 million a month of residual income. Isn't that cool? I know that's where I want to be, and I'm sure that that's where you want to be. So really, to get started is really pretty simple. You just choose the plan that's really suitable for you. You get back to the person who referred you to the program and let them help get you set up and get you going, help you get your Bitcoin, get your e-wallet open so that you can hold your Bitcoins, receive Bitcoins, and send Bitcoins, and start now. There's no better time to get started. The sooner you get started, the sooner you're going to start receiving that cash flow. Okay, so get back to the person that referred you. If you need to contact us and have some questions, there's our Skype information. You can contact us. But let me explain something here. We are not company support. We're people just like you. The reason we do this is we're building our own team at the same time. And the other thing is, in order for me to help protect my financial security, I need to help you protect your financial security. If the economy goes down, if they, really trash the dollar, which I don't think there's any question about that anymore. That's pretty positive. They're getting rid of the dollar. I want to have a way of doing business and actually working with other people that we have our own money that the government doesn't have anything to do with. They can do whatever they want with the dollar. We don't really need them anymore, frankly. And that whole overlay of the Central Reserve, Federal Reserve banks, and central location, and all that power structure that's built up around them because they control the money, they control the interest rates. I want that gone. I don't even want to do that anymore. And when you do this, you're defunding that system because you have to take loans out. You actually borrow money on credit cards and mortgages and all this other stuff. You don't have to do that here. When you get a Bitcoin in your hand, well, technically speaking, it's not in your hand, but in your wallet, you own it. It's yours. You can pass that on. If that thing becomes worth $1 million, $2 million a piece, well, wasn't that a smart move? Isn't that a way to pass money on to the family down the road? You certainly can, because it does that. It does not do what others do, like dollars, and deflate. I mean, it inflates. So what happens is the purchasing power deflates. That's why you have $5, $6 bread now. That's why I have to pay $70 for a pair of pants, $45, $50 for a shirt. Come on. It's all because of these idiots up there, supposedly the smart people, right? But the cool thing is you can do this. You can generate those kind of funds. Did you have to get a college degree and spend 15, 20 years to be an expert in some field to get that kind of pay? No. Did you have to invent a company or a product or something that everybody wanted to buy and it just went, boom? Everybody wanted to have one? No, you don't. What do you have to do? You have to get with your sponsor. You have to open an account, get your 4 Bitcoin into the company, let them start trading it, and refer, so that you get some of those other things and get those Bitcoins up to $8, and just start saving those guys. The more valuable they go over time, it's going to be easier and easier to take care of your family and everything else that you got to do. So let's open it up for questions and answers. See if anybody has anything that they want to talk about.
Hey, thank you. Do we have anybody that has any questions or would like to say a few words? Somebody come tell us about how this program's working for them.
Yeah, people.
Hello? Who wants to be? Yeah, who's this?
This is Ramon from Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Hey, Ramon. How you doing?
I am very well. Thank you for asking.
It helps if you put your hand up so we can see that you want to talk. Okay, so we can unmute you.
Oh.
Down in the participants window.
Not him, but the rest of them that are unmuting at the same time. Yeah. Just, go ahead, Ramon. What's your question?
Well, all right. We're getting 2.2% daily.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you multiply 2.2% daily times 30 days, isn't that 66%?
What they're doing is they're giving you your money back first, and then they're giving you the balance on the 4.
Okay. Could someone explain that to me?
Explain it to you?
They're giving me my money back.
There's simple interest here. This is not compound interest.
Oh, okay. It's not compounding.
Right. There's many different ways to do the interest in the calculations.
Okay.
See, what they're doing is they're taking 4 from you, right?
Yeah.
And they give you 8 back. Well, aren't 4 of those yours already?
Yeah.
They doubled it, right? So the
Okay.
2.2% will return all of that.
I get it. The only reason I'm a little thrown off is because using the number 4, where I'm actually in the second level,
Okay.
which is 0.01.
Well, it's all the same. It doesn't matter where you are. I'm just talking about the 4 because I want you to understand that when I came in, we started at the 0.05.
Okay.
We had to talk it over, and Kathy wasn't really excited about doing this, and I was because of my financial background. But if either one of us decides that we don't want to do something, the other person doesn't want to do it, we don't do it. We find things we both agree on. So anyway, we just decided to tiptoe in and see what was going to happen and how it was going to work. And the next thing you know, we're moving up, and we put a little bit more in, and we moved that up because we saw the thing actually working and growing. And my key point was, I can see what they're doing. I understand what the procedures are, but are they really giving us the money? In other words, are they keeping it in an account somewhere and they promise to give it to us in the future at some point in time? No, they're absolutely, only thing they're keeping in there is the amount that you gave them to trade with, and all the rest of that money, starting from day one, starts hitting your personal account. If you're in control of all of it that comes out. So you figure if the 2.2% will double it in 90 days, then in 45 days, they've returned your 4, right? You're even.
Correct.
Okay. So the other thing is, if you can get additional money coming in there, you can get your 4 back even faster. You can get your 0.1 back even faster. It doesn't really matter what level you're at. Point is that what you don't want to do is what a lot of people start doing right away because they need extra money. They start spending the stuff that comes in.
Gotcha.
Two things happen. One is they don't have the money to continue to step up and get to the sweet spot, which is the 4 Bitcoin. The other thing that happens is sometimes people think, well, I got 90 days here. You know what? I will spend until halfway point, and then I will start saving the rest of it. You want to reverse that process because you're going to end up short. You're going to need to put your 4 in before you get your 8 back. That's the point I'm trying to make here. You don't just get your 4 back and say, I want to renew. The process has to go through the accounting procedures of actually doing that. So you got to have that money ready to go to do that renewal, and then they give you all the money back when they.
Yeah, just keep some in reserve and don't spend it all. Make sure you can always do that renewal.
Yeah. So if you're at 0.1, you got to have enough to redo your 0.1. Maybe you're going to step up. Maybe you'd have to have enough to do a 0.2.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
Save it, and then the rest is gravy for sure. So we have Jim Ram in the house.
Hey,
Oh, sorry, Jim.
today
He unmuted.
sorry. Today's my 3-week anniversary, and so
Yay!
4.2 bitcoins, total of about $4,800.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, I got 1,200, 1,600, something like that today, and
All right.
got 70 people in my downline so far. And
Wow.
things are just
How many?
70.
70. You are on fire.
Yeah,
That is awesome. 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 And when did you start? About three weeks ago? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a phenomenal.
Yeah.
And that, I'm seeing this with everybody and people that say, oh, I've never talked to anybody. They're like getting so excited about this. They're making like 50, 60 bucks and telling their neighbors, look what just happened,
That's right.
And
it's all about believability.
So yeah. So you got over 1,200 this morning, huh?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, it's just amazing. I'm just can't believe it. I've been working. I've got another MLM business I've been working for the last 2.5, 3 years, and in 3 weeks I've made more in a month, or for so far, than I make in a month with the other business.
Wow.
That just blows me away. And I'm making more than I get from my police pension too.
Really, that's amazing.
So I've tripled my pay this month.
Wow. I'm so happy for you. That is awesome. Awesome.
You got to
good.
treat yourself.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you just get on another cruise?
I have a
Didn't you
question.
just? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Thanks, Jim.
yeah, this is Cola. I have a couple questions.
Okay.
First question. Sometimes I hear people talk about a 200%. Where did they get that from?
I don't know, because I don't ever talk about it like that.
Okay.
200%, not this program.
Okay. So basically, if you put in say for instance 4 bitcoins,
Right.
and then as they're paying you on a daily basis,
Mm-hmm.
they will pay you a total of 4 bitcoins, and you still have 4 bitcoins at work, or do they pay you 8 bitcoins, and then you have to re-up with 4 of the 8?
That's exactly right. They pay you 8, and then you re-up with 4.
Okay, right. Then the second question is, you mentioned, getting there 6% to 15%.
Right.
Now, are you getting? Let's say you're at the 7, particle 7, the 4 bitcoins working for you there.
Yes.
And you bring somebody else in, and they come on, let's say, with 4 bitcoins, and
Okay.
let's just use a dollar figure. Let's just say that was $4,000.
Okay.
Are you getting 15% of that $4,000,
No.
or are you getting 15% of the volume on the weaker leg high?
That's correct.
Okay, so if you have, say, like 4 bitcoins came in on the weaker leg, and it doesn't matter how many you had a whole bunch on the stronger leg.
Right.
And let's just use dollars, and let's say that was 4,000 on the weaker leg.
Yes.
You're going to get 15% of
Yes.
$4,000.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
All right, good questions. But I got to throw in right there, that sounds kind of confusing to somebody that hasn't seen the back office or whatever, and they think they got to try to figure all this out. No. You just jump in here and start learning. Don't waste any time. I was very, very, very skeptical at first because I didn't know anything about it. But you get in there and you'll see that if you just leave your legs on lower, you don't have to pay attention to all that stuff. You don't have to jump through hoops and that sort of thing. This is the cleanest, simplest program I have ever seen in my life. Thank you. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, we tiptoed,
Okay.
and we're looking back, and we just realized that we would be so much further ahead if we just go right in, because there's not a much risk here at all that you can lose some money. Can you lose money here? Absolutely, you can lose some money here, but it's very, very limited. 2 reasons why. If you are, let's just use the max of the 4 Bitcoin. If you are putting in 4 and taking 8 out the following day within a 24-hour period, what's the possibility the company is going to close down on that specific day? Very low, very nil. But if you put in 4 Bitcoin and you just let it sit there for 90 days, is there a greater chance within that 90 days? Sure. What if you run 180 days or 365 days? Is there a greater chance that somebody might collapse the company for some reason? Even though they did nothing wrong, something just may happen and it's not running. You're still going to possibly lose that 4 Bitcoin because the earnings always come out. They always get paid directly to you. They're not kept by the company. All right.
Every single day, just like clockwork.
When you asked that question earlier about, you put in 4 and they give you back 8, they're giving you that money back as the time goes on through the 90 days. So by the time you've accumulated enough value in that account from the referral base plus the 2.2%, these guys are doing this every single day. There's really no risk there. The other thing is you should never put any money in any program that you couldn't afford to lose right now. You just shouldn't do it. That's not prudent. So, but I've seen people, I even have movies on this. They take a flyer, they get out there and they make it. But I don't think there's a significant, if they were not paying me the money every single day on the earning side, yeah, I would say this is a risky program, but that's not what they're doing. And they started on December 1, and they have done everything they said they were going to do. and they do it exactly when they say they're going to do it. It's just amazing. And I've talked to some programmers, the people that know about programming, and they say that this is programming excellence. They're just think it's marvelous the way they constructed the site and the way they got it running, and it just works.
It's smooth as a baby's behind.
I have another question.
Sure.
The buy low, sell high thing that they're doing, this is not buying low if Bitcoin goes up or goes down. They're just buying high and low between exchanges, correct?
No, they're actually doing arbitrage, and they're doing longs, and they're doing shorts, and they're stacking them. And they're managing thousands of contracts simultaneously all around the world with the different exchanges. And the computers kind of predict where they need to go and what they need to do. That's what robo trading is. You see, exchange traded funds couldn't even exist unless they could do high speed trading, and they've been doing it in the stock market world for a long time. They do it in forex trading all the time too.
Okay, so that was my next question: is whether they're doing this through robo trading.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Okay, that makes all the sense then.
Yeah, it does. I mean, see, the other thing is a lot of people coming to these programs don't have the background I have. They don't realize that it's normal to double and triple your money every day. They just can't get in on the deals because they don't have the financial background, the qualifications, or the connections. There's all kinds of money being made around you all day long. It's just you guys aren't part of it because they didn't teach you about all that stuff. You know, grow up, get a job, work for a company for 40 years, and they'll keep you as long as they want until they dump you, right? They don't care about you. You're just a commodity. So it's an effort to struggle to get out of that mess. And the good deals you don't see. They never hit the street because all the other guys grab them up. I'll give you an analogy on the street. Real estate agents. They see an awful lot of great transactions, and they're always convinced that they're going to make $1 million by the time they're 30 if they get in the real estate business. They don't see this. They can't see it. They don't understand it. Now, they truly can do it. But you know what? They're dependent on what the Fed does. They're dependent on interest rates. Interest rates are going to start climbing here. The real estate market is going to tank like nobody's business. It's going to get to the point where nobody even wants to buy a house anymore, let alone take a loan out on it. This is why I'm telling you guys, you need Bitcoin. You need to get your hands on something the government can't control so that we can run our own economy. See, in Venezuela right now, they have no economy at all. It's really bad. And what people are doing are using Bitcoin to create their own economy. And they're buying goods and services from Amazon. Amazon is delivering food and everything else to them right through Amazon Direct. Right there, they're using Bitcoin. So what did the government do? It's illegal to use Bitcoin. Well, they got nothing to say about it. It's not theirs.
Yeah.
You know, people are going to find a way.
We own that Bitcoin as soon as it hits our wallet every morning. They don't own it. I have a special story here. I want to pick on this person before we get too long. Miss Rachel Scott, you had a pretty exciting week, haven't you? Can you tell us a little bit about it? Rachel.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to hear what you think about this program. What's it done for you lately?
Oh, it's awesome. I've had I think today was my third payday this week.
Okay.
And I got another sign up today. A gentleman called me from Minnesota. He's actually on the webinar right now.
All right. Welcome.
Harry, and real nice guy. And let's see, I think I've signed up a total of 4 or 5 this week. And I have some more to sign up tomorrow and the beginning of next week, and they have more to sign up. So who knows how many I'll have signed up by the end of next week.
So you're not very excited about this, are you?
Oh, no, not much. But.
All right. Well, that's fantastic. I love watching this and how happy this program is making people. So do you think it's pretty easy to use the system?
It is very easy. And the people I've been signing up, they were really impressed with the back office, how easy it was to maneuver. And yeah, it was a little bit of a learning curve with the blockchain and getting the Bitcoin and all that, they said, but getting into Gladiacoin. They said it was really easy. So overall, everybody's really happy. Everybody's really excited. A lot of people can't sleep.
I know, I can't.
So yeah, and you guys are just knocking it out of the park with the webinars, which is really helping the people grow their team.
Thank you. That's what we want. We want everybody to be prosperous in this. So, and the team is phenomenal. We have so many people that are helping each other, and that's what life should be all about, you know? And we're doing it. So you're doing phenomenal. Thank you for sharing that. I really wanted, I was happy for you today. So I just wanted to give you a shout out there. Thanks for sharing.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Do we have anybody else that wants to say a few words? Any questions? Miss Angela, did you have a question? I see your phone is off mute. Angela? Maybe not. Okay. I don't see any. Yes, we're recording this one. All our recordings go into the Facebook group as soon as we get them uploaded, downloaded. We haven't had time to do today's yet or last night's. We've been that busy, and we're growing so much that we've had to increase the webinars and increase the room size, and that's good growing pains. Okay, John, do you have anything else?
I do. The one thing I do want to say, it's kind of important. Let's go back here and take a look at this this thing back here. Here is a little warning slide that we put together for people to see, because we want to make sure you understand that it is an automated system. So it's very important that you get your sponsor's link name correctly, and you guys can go. This is posted on the Facebook site too, so you can see it. You got to put in the right amount of money. You can't go in for a one Bitcoin program and put 1/10 of a Bitcoin back there. It's not going to fly. And with Bitcoin and anything else that's in the crypto realm, when you send that money on that payment, you better have the correct addresses in there, because it's not coming back if you send it to somebody else. There's no way to retrieve it. So it's not that there's anything wrong with it. It just is you need to understand what you're doing, and before you do it, make sure you're doing the right thing. That's all. Because there's no way to fix it. That's what it says. Once the payment is sent, it cannot be retrieved. Okay? I just want everybody to know that.
Hey, John.
Yes.
This is Frank. How are you?
I do well. How are you?
I saw somebody ask a question. Why that crash this afternoon? Can you just explain that to them? Somebody asked the question. Why the crash?
Oh, the crash?
Hello, may I answer that?
Sure.
Hello, it's Doug Oliver here.
Hi, Doug. How you doing?
Well, I just wanted to mention to you, and you people here won't believe this, but I was a life insurance investigator of claims for 12 years. And I love investigating, so when you first told me about this, John and Kathy, I took a week off to investigate this. I've been investigating this from 8 in the morning until about 1 o'clock for 7 days straight, because it's intriguing. The more you investigate it, the more, you know, you're intrigued that there's nothing absolutely wrong. So there's things this gentleman asked about the crash. I first hit my warm market of friends, and I've got 16 into the program, but we agreed. I said, look, the only thing negative I could find on the internet is these idiots said that if the SEC decision goes against the then Voss brothers or whatever, and the EFT is not agreed upon, then there could create a huge panic in the world, and the value of the it was about 1288, could go down as low as about 6 or 650. So all of us, about 25, agreed we'd wait until today to see what was the effect. And on all the articles, I must have looked at about 15 articles, and it was seen to be going about 1/3 that it would go bad for Bitcoin. No, 2/3, excuse me, that it would go bad for Bitcoin. So you might as well wait if you were concerned. I was going to come in for 4 Bitcoin. So basically, what people must understand is that there's two other EFTs by geniuses. One guy is called a genius of Wall Street that has prepared a much better EFT that everyone is saying that theirs will go down, because they're saying that a huge amount of retailers, all they're waiting for is for an EFT to get Bitcoin on the stock market. So basically what happened today, it was about, I think about 1179, it was 1288 about a week ago. And of course it came down underneath 1100 for a moment, and then of course finished at 1134.97. But basically what I'm saying is this is the most 100% test of Bitcoin, that because everyone was saying the only negative thing as to what I looked at through 12 hours times 7 hours of research is that a lot of people were saying that Bitcoin really was only an $800 item, and it was all this excitement and hype that everyone felt that the SEC decision would go through and be favorable, and therefore that the price of the 1200 would drop down to 700 or 800. So it didn't. It ended 1134. It proved that Bitcoin is stable and is going to go up and up and up. And I couldn't believe, like, these world leaders, 5 people of hedge funds, Gate, and whatever, they're saying that, hey, 100%, that I can just remember them off from memory, that I've got about 6 or 7 that said by the end of 2017, Bitcoin will be 4,400. Matter of fact, I've been using this, I've been sending this out to all the people I know, that I wanted to ask you to write this down, guys, because I must have listened to every video, YouTube on there about Bitcoin. The one I liked the best to get people interested in was very, very professional video. If you all want to jot this down, 10 reasons why Bitcoin will destroy all-time highs in 2017. I'll repeat that. 10 reasons why Bitcoin will destroy all-time highs in 2017. And so if you type that into the Yahoo search bar, it'll come up. If for some reason it doesn't come up, and there's other great articles by this firm, Edward is their chief investigator, it's renegadeinvestor.co.uk. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, yep. So I've got many others, but the only thing I wanted to ask that some people have asked me is that they said that for Gladiacoin to offer this 2.2, they said, what if for some interesting thing that, you know, Bitcoin is, let's say, $1,100, and they're asking that if Bitcoin during an initial 3-month cycle doubled to 2,200, they think that once we give our Bitcoins to Gladiacoin, that any increases we won't receive. We'll just get the 2.2. My question is do we get the 2.2 daily? And if the Bitcoin at 1,100 happen to go up to 2,200, are we going to get that as well?
Well, they're gonna buy the Bitcoin at that rate and give it to you. They don't control the price of Bitcoin.
You understood what I'm asking? Is that
yeah, sure I do.
On the open market, if the 4 Bitcoins that I'm giving to Gladiacoin double from 1,100 to 22,
right?
Am I going to get that profit as well as my 2.2%?
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
Because they are sending you it in the form of Bitcoin. If the Bitcoin was worth 1,000 when you started and it's 2,000, it doesn't matter. It's Bitcoin. They're going to hand you the Bitcoin, and when it hits your account back there, it's going to be valued at the current rate. So it's kind of like a dollar cost averaging situation.
Okay, and the other question I had is, since I don't know too much about binary marketing, what I'm going to do is come in for 4 Bitcoin, and then to activate so I can put people in there, I need to have my first 2 positions bought. So I'll come in for 1/20th in my immediately 2 below positions, and then all of my friends, I think, will just be coming in for 1 Bitcoin. So I just wanted to ask you, I'm supposed to build and learn about binary because I decide on the people coming in, whether to put them on the left or the right side?
You have that option if you want to do that, but what I do is one of those sides is going to automatically become a kind of a power leg or a bank because you're going to get a lot of spillover on that one side.
Okay.
Once that side's identified, then really all you're doing is point for point. Every time you bring a point on the opposite side, it's zeroing it out and you're getting paid for it. So it uses up 100 points. If you bring 100 points on, it uses up 100 points off the opposite side. So that line, you're never going to catch it. It's just going to keep growing because of all the massive traffic that's going to be there. It's possible, though, that you could have some people on your side and the lines would flip, actually.
Okay. I'd really appreciate it if you could tell all of us this, that if we came in for 4 Bitcoin and we then immediately, because you're suggesting that it's a good idea to buy the 2 leg, the left and right below us,
right,
because that immediately activates our 4 Bitcoin position to earn residuals. So
that's not the one I'm activating because you could have put anybody down there. I'm saying you should buy them yourself because you're going to be able to work them, and you've already got half of the deal done by putting them there.
Okay, so John, I'd really appreciate it if you could answer me this because I got to call back some people this weekend and answer them the question. I've got about 7 people that are going to come in for 1 Bitcoin, and I'm going to come in for 4. So if I come in for 4 now right away, because all I was waiting for was the SEC decision, make sure it wasn't going to come down the value of Bitcoin to $600. So if I come in for 4 Bitcoin, buy the 2 positions below me at the same time for 1/20th of a Bitcoin, and then I would sponsor all my people under my 4 Bitcoin position. And if they all came in for 1 Bitcoin, could you just share with me how much money I would make on one transaction if I was at 4 Bitcoin with my 2 positions bought by me at 1/20th? If a friend came in for 1 Bitcoin, I would obviously put him in my top 4 Bitcoin position. And I'm please asking you if you could help me work out on the calculator how much that would be, because that seems to be what...
There's an infinite variety of values. I mean, what do you do when you got some spillover in the middle of that?
Yeah, but how, you see, John, I don't know anything about binary.
Okay, well, let me explain this. One side is going to be your bank leg, and you're always going to pull from the weak side.
Okay, so is the power leg always on the left side?
Nope, it can be on the left or it can be on the right. It depends on which side it develops. And when you start bringing people on and you're building it, what you really want to do is balance it, really. You don't know which side is going to turn out to be your power leg.
So the easiest thing to do would be place 1 person on your left and 1 person on your right, and then set your settings for lower, and then that'll keep a good balance. You don't even have to mess with it.
Oh,
there's automatically.
There's there's an autopilot like in your back end.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes, the system is so easy to run. You don't even have to know any of that. Just put somebody on your left and somebody on your right and let it run. It's just perfect. It's a perfect system.
But you see, John and Kathy, I feel I'll be looked at like a little bit of a moron if I can't call back these people, because I've got 5 that they've just asked that question. They're saying to me the same thing. They don't know much about a binary. And so, I mean, isn't it simple? I thought it would be simple to figure out that if I came in with 4 Bitcoin, bought the immediate 2 positions below me for the lowest.
Well, first off, the 4 Bitcoin have nothing to do with it. The only thing they do is they give you the 15% payment on the binary. The 2 below you immediately are going to activate the binary.
Right.
They have to be personal referrals.
Yeah.
All right. So let's take and put, let's say you got 10 people. All right.
Yep. Yep.
You put 6 down one side. That's your bank leg.
Okay.
You got 4 on the other side. So you got $4,000, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's going to happen is they're going to show those points would be 4 points. So 4 times 0.15. What is that?
4 times 0.15. Okay, where's my calc here?
Okay, it's 0.60.
4 times 0.15%. I've got here as 0.006. Did you say 4.4 times 0.15?
It's 0.6. 4 times 0.15.
Oh, 4 times 0.15%. I'm still getting 0.006 on my calculator.
I get 0.6000.
Okay.
And I'm using an HP 12C.
If I can help, the mistake you're making is you're saying percent when you're already saying 0.1. So now you're going percent.
I'm doing 0.5, which is the decimal for 15%.
Yeah, 0.15. And he's doing 0.15%. You can't do the percent twice.
Right.
Just do what he's saying, 0.15. Don't say percent. He's already figured in percentage when he says 0.15. If he said 15, then you would say 15%.
It's just 4 times 0.15. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Well, John, what I thought it would be simple here. If but I know nothing about. I'm not a good mathematician.
Well, that's why I told you what to do.
Well, I still don't understand it. If I can ask you this way, I come in for 4 Bitcoin, so I'm at the 15% level.
That's
all my people come in at 1 Bitcoin, which is the 11% level. So wouldn't there be a 4% then profit that I'd be making of the cost?
No. This is based on a point system, which is relative to the number of Bitcoin that's in the team. So all I'm interested in is if you refer those people. We were talking about your position now, not their position. Your position, all right?
Yeah.
You brought in $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, right, or 10 Bitcoins.
By all of my 10 people coming in.
Yeah, 10. You put 5 down ones, or 6 down one side and 4 on the other side. So now you got a strong leg and a weak leg.
Okay.
All we're going to look at is the number of Bitcoin for your position, and that's because that's what you're going to get paid. So what happens is you can't look at the strong side. You have to ignore that. But the reason you can get paid on the weak side is because it didn't exceed the 6 coin over there. It could even be a 5.5 or 4, whatever. You can work it out any way you want. The point is that you take the number of points, which is the number of Bitcoin, times the percentage. So it's 4 times 0.15. That's a 0.60.
4 times 0.15?
Correct.
Okay, not percent, just 4 times 0.15. 4 times 0.15 is 0.6.
That's exactly correct.
4 times 0.15 equals 0.6. Okay.
That represents 60% of a Bitcoin. Okay. I'm just going to make it easy. So what I do then next, you've got the 4 Bitcoin, right? So the 2.2% is 0.08888.
Could you repeat that, please?
0.08888.
All right.
Add that to the 0.6. So you end up with 0.6889.
Could you repeat that last one?
0.6889.
0.6889.
Correct. Now, and when it cycles in the morning, it's going to take that number and it is going to multiply it times the price of a Bitcoin. So let's assume that the price of the Bitcoin is $1,200.
Okay.
So you take 0.6889 times 1,200. And your payment in the following morning would be $826.65.
Bingo.
Wow.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
That's
we really need to end this. We're going long here. Doug, could we please continue this conversation in a little bit? And we'll say good night to our guest. Thanks. We have a lot of people leaving. We will be back again Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Be sure to come back and invite some of your guests. And in the meantime, have a beautiful weekend.
All right. We'll talk to you later. We just can't do this as a training call. We just can't do it. We'll have to do a training call.
No. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
I am jammed up. I've got things I got to get done before 9 o'clock. So I can't really do any more.
Okay, we'll get back with you, Doug, over the weekend.
Can I just congratulate you for all of the, unselfish time that you spend on these calls to make fortunes for people? I think it is so generous. It's so heartfelt. It's so wonderful.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah, well, you're quite welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for saying that. We appreciate that. You guys take care, and we'll see you Sunday. And again, have a great weekend. All right. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.